Mayonnaise! Mayonnaise!
Calling all retro gamers.
Calling all retro gamers!
Calling all retro gamers!
Calling all retro gamers!
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Calling All Retro Gamers. That was awesome. I love the eyebrow. It ended, and you're like, oh?
I was like, look at it. I was like, well, I'm still on camera.
Yeah. Oh, we got some peeps in the house. Hey,
Nice, Twitter Jim. What's going on? Ian Hobbies is in the house too. What's up, Ian? Oh, and Chris Westerman. There we go. We got all sorts of people up in here, and of course, you can't escape it.
I can't. Wait. Oh, here we go.
Would you kill this thing?
I
couldn't find it at first. I got too much side stuff.
You're wearing a social assassin shirt in that clip. I just noticed.
Yes. And you know what that's from, right?
No.
What show?
I don't know.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David. There was a long story short, there was a whole thing where he didn't mind like breaking bad news to people. He's like, yeah, I'm sort of a social assassin.
That's awesome.
And in case for people don't know,
I think I've seen 2 episodes of that.
And for people don't know the name of our special guest tonight.
No.
I had one slowed down. I forget for what video. I had to do that. Oh, and before we get into Crow real quick, so I just have to explain. So my shirt, it says a sofa bed conspiracy. And for those of you who have watched my channel a long time ago, I just got to show this real quick. Of course, it'd help if I actually hit play. See there in the background? See, I used to actually have like a dummy.
I see.
Dummy. Okay. And I just had it there without any explanation.
Is the conspiracy that you don't have a sofa back there?
It could be. It could be. Who knows? But
the conspiracy is the sofa beds like somehow are.
Yeah, I mean, you can see a sofa here. I mean,
but is it a sofa bed?
I've used it as a bed.
Not that it explains the conspiracy.
I've used my couch as a bed many times.
It explains the shirt. Yeah, I've never. All right, so I guess we should talk about this guy, right?
That's right.
Well, it feels like it was just last week where I was on your show, which is odd because I was on a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but we're just hanging out again, and it's cool. But now the topics are wide and varied,
just like on the Evercast.
Just like on the where we talk about hot dogs and what we're doing in the week.
Did you say hot dogs?
No, it's cool. It's really cool. So we got a good show for you tonight. We got all sorts of cool, conversation topics that we're gonna dive into. We're gonna pick Crow's brain, find out all sorts of cool, neat stuff about Crow, and then we got some maybe some news. We'll see if we're gonna talk about that or whatever. All sorts of fun stuff is going to be on there. So where do we want to start off?
I don't know. It's your show.
Somehow I muted myself. I was going to say, this is going to be weird because we know who Crow is. But for those of you who have been living under a rock or maybe don't know, I guess, Crow, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your channel and all that fun stuff.
Well, I wasn't prepared for this because I don't really know even. Well, basically,
there you go. It's the channel where he doesn't even know. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it basically is just a channel for me to post whatever videos I wanted to make. But since I had posted so much, so many videos on pinball related stuff, more specifically digital pinball, like the Pinball Arcade, Pinball Effect, Zacharia Pinball, that kind of stuff. A lot of people are really only interested in the pinball stuff that I have on my channel. There's plenty of it, but I can't just stick with it. I did try to stick with it for a while. It's during a 2-year period. I had changed the name of my channel to Crow Pinball, but then I decided I don't want to just stick with pinball anymore. I just was like, okay, I had to come up with a new name. It's like, what? I didn't want it to be what it used to be because it was Crow with 4 O's. And that's like, well, a lot of people couldn't remember how many O's were in it. And it basically just like that, because that was the like the avatar name I would use for like just online games, like or LAN games. And it wasn't like, and when I created the YouTube account, it wasn't necessarily to make videos. It was just, I was watching YouTube and it's like, oh, I want to save these to a favorites. So I had an account just so I could save videos to favorites. Nice. So that's why my channel was created in like 2006. And then I started just kind of uploading videos I had already made in the past, but I didn't start making videos specifically for YouTube until like 2009.
Oh, okay. Ooh. But they've always been like video game, like pinball.
Yeah, I think very rarely I'll post a video that is not related to either. And in those cases, it's usually about Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Makes sense.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yay!
Hey, you took that from me.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, I'm a fan of them too, man. I love that.
Yeah, so like I have a couple videos. Like I don't really go too deep into Mystery Science Theater. I like for when they came back, it was like a season 11. I started to, I did a couple videos on that. I've got a couple videos on the DVD collection. I had to make one when they released everything they could possibly release, because I don't know if other than the new seasons that are coming out now, there's not really much more they can actually release unless they get more licensing to those old episodes, because I think there's like 50 of them or so where they can't release them officially. So then there's I'll have to make another Stinger video when the next season is over.
Oh, nice.
Because I made that video and I posted it and it was private. And then I was like, yeah, I'll just make it public. Because
and for those of you who don't know, we also always have a guest or a spirit or a ghost with us. He seems to follow us around.
You got your boy Phoenix.
I always have to do that. He's always here. So
he's in the Evercast too.
Yeah. He just, you got your boy Phoenix. What else do you need? It's funny of all the stuff like I chose to pick that. Anyways, but Rich, I think also too, because we don't know the answer to this one, so I'll be very curious. Ask him the question that we ask all guests.
All right, cool. So
I'm dying to know this, because we don't.
Every time we have a guest on Calling All Retro Gamers, we ask them one question, and that is, what game defines you? And then what that means is, what's the game that is basically, when you think of, not necessarily your favorite game or whatever, but like something that basically, like, it's the one game that just instantly pops into your head to be like, yes, this is me. This is my childhood. This is my whatever, like cool moment in gaming. What is that game?
You know what? If you ask me what game, and like it depends. It's like it could be a different game any day. But if I think about
think of it as like a defining moment. Like for me, like kind of like when I saw like Zelda, I was like, oh, you're thrown into this, you're thrown in here and you got to figure this stuff out. Like I was blown away. Like it doesn't even have to be your favorite game.
Well,
just
I got an answer for you. I'll be right back.
Show and tell.
Yeah. Nice. Loving it.
Show and tell, everybody.
This is, it is one of my favorite questions to have.
Oh yeah,
because it's like you get to like know all sorts of really cool stuff about.
All right, well, I have to go with this one. It's just like the one game, it's
nice.
a pinball related
video pinball,
and it's the game I played a lot when I was a kid. It kind of was like, because I was into pinball as a kid. You don't really run into pinball. Like I remember playing pinball, but I didn't really run into them that often. It's not like I went to arcades a lot. And then when I did go to arcades, the pinball machines were like the main things I would play. It's not like I wouldn't play the arcade games, but I'd always have to play pinball. But as a backup, I'd have to go with this one, arcade pinball.
Arcade pinball, nice.
And if you were unaware, these are actually the same game.
Yes.
Okay. The different boxes. That's hilarious. I was like, huh? So that pretty much that got you started down the journey in your love for pinball machines. Would you say?
Well, no, it's actually playing pinball, but that was at home, so I played that a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah.
No, many fond memories I had of playing video pinball back in the day too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not I mean, if you look back in hindsight, it's not the best pinball game, not even for the system.
Right.
I mean, because you got Midnight Madness. Everybody's like, "Oh, Midnight Madness is better," but I mean, but yeah, that came out like a few years after video pinball.
Mhm.
And if you look at pinball now, a lot of people are, "Is that supposed to be a pinball machine?" But to me, it always looked like one because as a kid, I played it and I could recognize flippers and stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Same here. That's a cool one, and you kind of fitting too. So,
well, yeah, that's why I had an answer.
You know what? So, well, just real quick, while we're talking about playing pinball and like the kind of not really the first pinball experience, but you mentioned playing at home. Well, for me, not only could you play this at home, but it was really portable. I'm sure you guys have
played that.
Yeah,
I actually maxed out the score on it one time.
Yeah, dude, I've beaten it. Yeah, this is one of those few handhelds where it was different than like let's say like a Double Dragon or anything else, because you didn't care that the playfield didn't change. The controls were just.
I'll be right back. I may have something else.
We're just 2 buttons, but dude, you can. Yeah, I think when you max out the score, it would go dee dee dee. It would kind of do like a certain flashing and 1-bit mono sound, and then you would beat it. But it was fun just to kind of sit down and chill for a while. And you could play it at home and anywhere. So I know I can relate. And I'm like, and this thing even had worse graphics. So had I known about that version of pinball, I would have blown my mind.
Look, I thought I had this put together, but I don't. I actually just have the board for this.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
I mean,
that's awesome.
Like it's got actual flippers and stuff. Actually, what this is Pinbox 3000. So there's actually a box you could make your own.
Yeah.
You can interchange them. In fact, I should get the other part of it.
It's so cool.
That is awesome.
We're learning new stuff here.
I mean, that's just as soon as I saw the play field in there, I was just like, that is just, oh man, that is so cool.
So
and for those of you who are just listening to the audio podcast, you really need to watch this because you have to see what Crow is sharing.
I mean, you take the part out and then you can replace it. But this was one I just kind of mess around with it. But they actually have these kits. I mean, it's got a plunger. The rubber band apparently broke on this, but you pull back.
I love that, dude. That's super nerdy.
Score yourself, I actually have a couple videos because you could buy these kits where they provide you everything and you build it yourself. So I have a couple kits, and actually the other 2 are actually at my office at work. So I can't show you those. But I knew that I had made this, but I didn't realize I was like, oh, is it in the closet? Because this is an experiment. It's like, what am I going to make? Oh, let's make the.
Lloyd likes it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut out the wood, paint it, and it's like, let's put rubber bands around them.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, that's the kind of thing that would be like, all right, that would just look great on a wall. That would be cool.
Or in a closet covered in dust, apparently.
It would, or framed, in a shadow box or something.
Well, what's funny is I actually had this hanging on the wall. I have a hook on the door, and I just had it hanging from the hook.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Just again, that's awesome.
That's neat.
Very cool. Very cool. So, all right, cool. So, where do we want to go for now? Do we want to go into topics? Do we want to address any news?
Let's address the news. You're dying to, man.
I mean, so this is the first, well, actually the second real time actually there was news that broke before the show, and this time we had, that's awesome. That's so cool. It swaps right in.
Yeah, you swap it.
That's really neat.
And it's entirely cardboard.
That's cool. I'm digging that. So we did have some news break, and in that news, it was from the world of Intellivision regarding the Amico. I know it's like the thing that we've. Have we ever said the word Amico on this channel before?
Don't say it 2 more times, or you'll summon Voldemort or something.
Yeah, somebody.
Maybe we cannot mention.
Somebody will show up.
It's funny how you say it's news, and I don't consider it to be news at all.
Oh, real quick, Brian said batteries not needed. Yes, you can bring that in a car trip.
But
that is true.
Dude, could you imagine sitting on a plane and this guy walks by this huge cardboard thing?
It just puts it on the tray table.
And you've got a little piece of paper next to you to write down your scores because you're counting in your head. Like,
That's awesome.
it bounced off of this 3 times. I'm giving myself 300 points for that.
That'd be awesome.
Oh,
That'd be
man.
awesome. So, so yes, there was an email that, or a message, let's just say a message appeared on the.
I do have this email, and I got it 10 minutes ago, and I haven't read it.
Oh, did the email actually go out?
I have an email. I haven't read it yet, though.
All right, cool. So that's cool. Because I know that there.
I think it's exactly what you said.
Yeah, it was supposed to go out on email sometime today, but whether or not it was 6 p.m. ET or PST, people weren't like sure about it or whatever. But it did go out on the Facebook group, and apparently is now live, which is awesome. So I don't want to go through the entire thing. It's kind of like a big paragraphs. But I do want to pull some little news nuggets out of the email. Obviously, they're having a rough time over in television. They've had to, do a lot of crazy investment kind of things. They've had to, change course. They've had to reduce staff. Like the things that happen in a company that is pre-revenue that hasn't had the ability to put their product out. Right? I mean, it's not an amazing place to be in as a startup, if that's what you consider in television to be, but there is some other things. So they're looking at actually generating some new revenue streams. They say, we are working with game development partners to license classic and television intellectual property for publication on other platforms that are not Amico. These licensing deals help fund continued development of Amico. A broader distribution of Intellivision classic IP will help raise awareness of Intellivision while not directly competing with Amico because of Amico's unique controllers and family-focused gaming adaptations. And then they go on to say that people have embraced that because of the brand, and even though Amico has retro stuff in their catalog, it's not the whole catalog because of all the other things that Amico can do.
That's not the way I interpret that. Actually, it sounds like nothing like the Atari VCS. Nothing on the Amico will be exclusive. You could
I mean, if like the, all right, well,
and they're going to say that, but the Amico is the definitive way to play it because of
if Missile Command, like this Missile Command, winds up on Switch, Steam, whatever, so and now we're in a place where it's like, if that exists, right? If that is a thing that exists, does it matter? Well, I mean, to me, no, because if they need money in the kitty to get the thing out so I can have the box that I pre-ordered, then so be it. Right? Yeah. Is it a breaking of the commandment or whatever that all titles are supposed to be exclusive or have exclusive features? Whatever.
Well,
again, at this point, I just want
all those commandments because look how far that's gotten them.
Here's a deal that they can do.
I rather think we could strike a deal.
Okay, so Bender. So let me interpret that. So Bender is Amico and Television, and sitting behind the counter is Blaze Entertainment, and they're like, "Yeah, I think we can strike a deal." Boom! They come out with Amico Collection 1, and they have like a couple of those games on there. I don't know.
It's interesting.
Wouldn't that be cool?
The specs are
that's a wild angle. I mean,
that the Amico isn't the most powerful thing in the world, but I wonder if it's up to par with what the Evercade is.
I think Evercade could run it. I'm pretty sure it could run it natively. And would it be interesting too if that cart came out before the Amico did? I don't know. Just saying. Which comes out first would be kind of fun.
So it would be the real question would be, okay, well then Ryan, right, over at Blaze, answer this question: can the Evercade run anything on Unity? If the answer is yes, if the answer is yes, then that's a possibility.
And then can I plug the Amico controller into the Evercade and will it work?
Yeah, right.
Dude, I still want you to test that if that's the thing. I can't wait.
I mean,
we have to make that video.
Point that somebody else made a long time ago in a comment on my channel is why would they come out with a new system like this for this? Why not just come out with the controllers and release it on a platform that already exists?
I mean, yeah, that could be a thing. I mean, I guess the obvious answer to that would be like, well, what if you didn't have all of the other things, right? You're a family, you don't have those things, you're not exposed to them, whatever. It's a thing on the shelf, you buy it, you're done. And like, okay, yeah, that's something that could be that's something that could exist.
But what if they put it like on the Switch?
Yeah, I mean that could be a thing. But again, still, there's hundreds of millions of Switches out there, right? But
which would be a reason why you'd want to put it on the Switch.
You know what they could?
True.
Well, so if the games could run it, what if it was like a game you could download like on a Fire Stick or like one of those like Apple TV, like another popular device, and then you buy the controller and you could just plug it in. Like think about how cool.
That's not like a bad angle because it could open the door for people that want to broaden the market as far as interaction in that space. Apple's been playing in that world for a long time.
Yeah, it's just point, Rich. They wouldn't have to spend $300 to buy a Switch. They could probably use it on a device. Let's say if the controllers were like $100 for two of them, I don't know. And then there you go. You can play it, and it should be easy to set up, like something like that, like multi-platform.
But it's never even crossed my mind to play video games on a platform like that.
Really?
I don't know. It's just me, but I don't even think of it like that. That's not why I have that device.
Yeah, I've been dabbling in the whole Apple Arcade kind of thing, and it's neat. And the weird thing is, the more I dabble in the Apple Arcade like thing on Apple TV, the more I feel like it's kind of like these, not a direct analogous experience, but it is like just like tangentially related enough to what the idea is for Amico that's like actually that might work. Now the thing with Amico and Nintendo is, are they going to be willing to allow somebody to come into their space with a device that they didn't design to work with their systems? You know what I mean?
I'm
talking about like, forget about the console entirely. Just
okay. Forget about the controllers.
I think Nintendo would want too much. So funny that you mentioned that, because before I got the Evercade and all that, I played installed RetroArch on my Fire Stick, and so it's like if you have one of the newer Fire Sticks that can render like 4K video, it has to be pretty good. And then you can get like an OTG cable and plug in a USB drive, and you can play everything, not including 64, up into PS1. Like it'll handle it. I think the specs are similar to a VS, or a VS is maybe a little bit better. So yeah, that's how I kind of use that as my benchmark for, and even like a few Dreamcast games if you tweak the hell out of it.
I don't have a 4K TV. Am I behind the times?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I would say that,
dude. And then like
I don't want to get rid of my plasma.
The plasmas are nice.
And now there's Ultra HD, which I think is higher than 4K.
There's 8K. There's 8K now.
That's what it is. Yeah, because
if I have to replace this TV, I'm getting an OLED.
Yeah,
they've come down a lot in price.
OLEDs have to come down in price, but you can get a regular 4K HDR TV. You can get them as low as like $350 now, like 55 inch.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, like Philips was around like $300.
I feel like I'm missing out on anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've owned a 4K TV for a while in my house, probably about 4 or 5 years. I'm never going back, because once you get used to it, it's like, oh man, the fidelity is really nice for TV, movies, sports in particular. Very, very nice. Watching a football game on that, oh man, so good. But I mean, gaming applications though, a lot of games aren't, they're not rendered for 4K on a console. So you're still getting 1080p, so it just goes to 1080p mode on your 4K TV, and you're like, well, all right.
Now, I will say that I have a 2K monitor, and the reason I don't have a 4K monitor is because at the price I was looking at, I wanted something with a higher frequency, and most 4K monitors only do 60 hertz.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So I have a 2K monitor that has 144 hertz, and it's like 32 inches. So,
yeah.
Dude, cardboard pinball doesn't require 4K. If there's like a zombie apocalypse, you can still play cardboard pinball.
That's it. Dude, you don't even need power.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
corner
need
the
anything,
market.
You just need
You
the
don't
box.
even need batteries.
That's it.
Yeah, man. I'll be like, you want this cool
is there
pinball?
for you.
That'll be 5 cans of food.
And
So-
I could design my own games.
That's true. That's
Crow,
very true.
you should have crowcardboardpinball.com. Boom. There you go.
I
Design
don't
your own
need
games.
just a Pinbox 3000. That's where you go to get that stuff.
Have your own Etsy store, dude. It'll fly off the shelf.
Well, actually, maybe it's not Pinbox 3000. It might be Cardboard Institute or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
It's something
All right.
really weird.
Woo.
That's neat. That's neat. So, all right, just to throw the last bit of like the newsy kind of things in there, so we can go on to our cool topics. The other neat things out of here that like they're somewhat eyebrow raising, but also somewhat cool. They've begun a test production of Amico that includes all of the things, right? So they're going to have production models. They're going to put the console in the box with the instructions, with all of the things they're supposed to come with, and boxes, and then they're making a whole handful of them, and then they're just going to test the everything out of it, right? So that seems pretty cool. That's neat. It's like a step forward, where there's been a lot of doomsaying that's saying that they're not going to even get there. It seems like that's happening in the next couple of weeks, which is great. That's awesome. And then that could lead to their last point, which was fulfillment of mass production, which will happen after they do their testing and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the first part of this whole thing, the line number 2, having to drastically rein in operating costs could be an issue. They need to get revenue before they get to that last step of mass production. Of course, those IP deals hopefully will make that happen. But that's exciting that they still have the plan, and the plan. This notice wasn't, all right, guys, we're wrapping up. See you. That's for me as someone that has my pre-orders down. That's definitely not what I wanted to hear. Like, I didn't want to hear we're done, so I didn't hear that. So I'm happy.
So you're not done until you hear this.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That is.
So you hear
correct.
that? There's still hope, right?
That is
Honestly,
correct.
For me at this point, I don't care if the system comes out or not, because if the system doesn't come out, hopefully you get your $100 deposit back at that point.
Yes.
But even if you don't, I have the physical games, which means I have physical games for a console that doesn't exist.
Yes.
How often does that happen? And even if the console does come out, how often is it that the games release way before the console is?
Yeah,
released?
not this. This is 100% the record. I mean, we're talking, will be over a year, most likely, before that actually happens. Before you get a console in your hands that you can play the games that you own. I mean, I have all 8 on my shelf right here. Plus, I actually went out and got like one or two because I wanted to leave them sealed because I just wanted to see like the inside of them. Like I got Brain Duel and I got Missile Command.
I still have an open mind.
I wanted to see what it was in there, so I
didn't need to because everybody made videos on what was in there.
I wanted to feel it in my hand. Actually, what I really wanted to do was put a high-powered LED light behind the card, the RFID card, because I wanted to find out which type of RFID it was. Because there's 2 types of RFID card that you could use. One that can hold extra information, which is what they were implying, and one that could not.
I actually think you could tell that I can scan the RFID with my phone, and it pulls up information on it. I don't know if the size of it is one of the pieces of information you get from that.
On the one layer you can on a reader, but there's certain other cards that have a second layer that can only be read by something that's encrypted in the same type, so you can't even get the data out.
But it's funny. There's not really. I knew this, but apparently a lot of people didn't know that the game isn't actually on the card, but rather the card is rather just a link to the store that lets you download the game.
That is
and a
correct.
lot of people were
That's why I let it slide.
But
that's not really physical media.
But
the argument, the thing you could say also is that all physical media is a physical object with code on it, and there's obviously some code on it to get the game.
Yeah,
and that's basically what PlayStation and Xbox games are now. If you buy them physically, you put the disc in, and pretty much downloads the whole game. And so if that's physical media, then that's physical media.
Right. So the thing about the card though, and the second layer thing, the reason why I kind of like hung up on it, and because I'm just very curious, like on a technical aspect, is because that second layer it's implied. They haven't actually come out and said it, but it's implied that the second data layer is an encrypted key, which is like basically like a Steam key or something like that. So actually there is a unique identifier on the card.
Oh, yeah, there definitely is.
That is above and beyond the link. So
well, yeah, there obviously is, because they've already said that you could sell the game to somebody else.
Right.
And then when they scan the game, then that game, they know it's the game you used to have, and they remove that from your library. So
the only way that works is if there's a unique identifier hard coded to the card. So no.
Hey, real quick, Rich, because you said to tell you we did forget the number of the screen, and I shamelessly summoned Rigatoni. So maybe he'll call in and leave us a message. So that's
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so call in, leave us a message. Rigatoni, call in and leave us a message.
Yes, we will read any message, but just be warned that if you call during the show, I'm not going to pick up my phone because I still have yet to unlink it.
That's
so
great.
If you call, my phone's going to go off, and I'm just going to give you the button, and then you can leave a message. So
hey, Christopher, I made it. Cool.
What's going on? So yeah, and then the very, very, very last thing is they're talking about refunds. So if you were in and now you're out, you should still get on. You can get online, and then they're processing everything slowly, is what they say in the statement. But they will get you, so you can get your deposit back in case that is something you want to do. Now, again, I keep on back to number 2. They had to drastically reduce costs. They have to do all this. I mean, they don't have any revenue coming in the company, so I'm imagining, it's a rough scenario. But them publicly stating, hey, we are working on getting everything together. We will get to you. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I mean, they've addressed it now, right? Because a lot of people in the doomsaying side of things would say, oh, well, they completely ignored everybody and they're just walking away. Well, that's clearly they stated they're not walking away. So at least
they are. They say they are processing. I don't know if there's how many people are out there that requested refunds that haven't gotten it, and how long it's been since they've requested that refund.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I would even go about requesting a refund. I guess maybe there's something on their website.
Yeah, well, right in the statement, it is direct email, like support@intellivision.com. Hey, I want my money. Done. And then you're in the list, and then they process your queue, and then you eventually get your deposit back. So.
I can't hear you. Press the button.
Sorry, I had to break things up. Yo, days. We gotta. I think we move on to the next thing.
But I will say this before we move on. I will say one more thing. If you're looking for more of this kind of news, don't do it right now because you're here. You're watching us.
Yeah.
We want you here. But right now on Next Level Gaming, the original Next Level Gaming podcast, they still haven't gotten to that because it's 15 minutes in. The way those guys work is they talk for an hour and then they get to the topics. So they're done. To original Next Level Gaming and watch their show. They've got a huge panel. They're gonna be talking about this all night. So
that's why I knew there was something up, because it was one of their topics.
Yes, one of their topics is breaking Amico news. Yes. So and everyone's gonna be there. It's gonna be them. It's DJC and Rab and Geeks with Cash and even Dreadpool, which is actually kind of cool. He's a cool guy. He was there at the Crail event, which I was at. I was able to play that thing. I want to play it again. That's where we can leave that. I want to play it again. All right, cool. So let's go on to the topics. Should we start?
That wasn't the topic?
That was a topic. But let's go into more topics. We got some cool topics here. Let's talk about the video game preservation piece, because I always like talking about that.
Oh, it's always so much fun.
Do we need more galloping ghosts like very large, awesome, definitive, like arcade style things. Do we need more of them?
How many are there? Because as far as I know, there's only one like Galloping Ghost. I mean, not even Fun Spot is like Galloping Ghost.
No, and I
mean,
think the difference
I
that
guess
sets Galloping
you're right.
Ghosts apart is that they have like machines like the Narc machine that has like an extra level that you can't even find the ROMs for. Like they have like truly unique games you can't even emulate. They're not dumped
They have
anywhere.
one of a kind, and that even
Yeah.
extends to the pinball collection because they have like the Predator pinball machine. I think only 2 of those might exist.
Oh, I mean the one that's
Oh,
not
wow.
officially licensed. Yeah, that
Yeah.
looks like badass.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
So, and they've got like over 800 games. They keep expanding the arcade. They keep buying the property next door, and they keep like just knocking down walls and keep going and going.
It's so awesome.
So the question is, do we need
And they
more
keep
than
on-
one? Or do
They
they have
keep
it covered?
unveiling a new game every week. Every week there's a new game, and
That's
they've been
crazy.
doing that for years.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I always want I want access for people. So even if it wasn't in the United States, right? So like, do we need more Galloping Ghosts in the United States? Like the ... Probably not, right? Because people in the United States could get to Galloping Ghosts and go there, right?
People visit Galloping Ghosts from all over the world. To be
Well,
honest.
that's right. It's like becoming like arcade Disneyland, right?
Yeah, or you either go Galloping Ghost or you get a Fun Spot. What's funny is that Guinness Book of World Records still considers Fun Spot to be the world's largest arcade.
What?
Mhm.
I don't know why Galloping Ghost has hundreds of more machines than they do.
Yeah,
this
that's
point.
interesting, right?
So
I mean-
there's a reason there needs to be at least one more, and I'm gonna go really dark with this. And I did that for a reason. So let's say the most horrible thing happened, and like the place caught on fire, and let's say it burnt down to a curve. Let's say everyone got out, no one was hurt, and yes, the insurance money will reimburse Doc Mac, but all those machines are gone and they're toasted. Like, shouldn't there maybe be like a redundant location, like a second one? Like, what if that happens? That would be horrible.
They actually have several locations all up and down the block. You wouldn't even know this, but they have a gym, like a physical workout gym. If you know the owner, Doc Mac, he obviously works out. He owns all that stuff. I think they own a garage as well, like for fixing automobiles. But for arcade machine stuff specifically, there's the main arcade, which extends very far. So even if it caught on fire, it'd have to be a really large fire for everything to go.
I know.
But a couple blocks down, they have another office where they have flea markets there sometimes. And then a couple doors down from that is the pinball hall, which has all the pinball machines. I've got like over 30 pinball machines. I haven't been there in a while. I don't know if they've
But
gotten
still, the cabs would be gone. And let's say even if they had like some extras, they would have to like rebuild. It would take some time. I mean,
Yeah, but they do have a whole storage facility as well, where they're storing all the stuff they haven't put out yet. So even if they lost everything, they wouldn't be gone.
Huh.
True, but I like what Rich was saying, that maybe it'd be cool to have in other countries, because yeah, you could, let's say, come from Germany or Japan or Spain, but that's a long plane trip, right? Like it'd be cool if there was something like local there. Like that'd be pretty neat. And they would have different games too. They would have like different games, and maybe like games that are like difficult to find here. Let's say like in Brazil or someplace would probably be easy to find there.
You'd be surprised. They have games from other countries you can't find anywhere.
I know.
Like Armadillo Racing. That's a fun
You're
game.
just ruining it for you. You can't be a sport.
I
can't be a sport, man.
If you didn't know, if you're in the chat and you didn't know, I literally live like 5 to 10 minutes away from Galloping Ghosts.
Really? Is that why we brought this topic up? No.
Yeah, I think it is why you brought the topic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It was Richard's idea. He's like, we got to talk about it with Crowan. He lives close.
Yeah, it's just like, you've been there. It's like, I've never been there. It's on my list.
I actually have, I think, only 2 videos up on my channel about Galloping Ghosts, because I made one from the first time I went there. So it's like, I think the video is like 10 years older at this point, when it was brand new, and it's a fraction of the size it is now. And then I made another one for when they opened up the pinball hall, and that was like maybe 3 years ago.
Mm.
And yeah, they expand the video game portion way more than they do the pinball part. But
Have you met Doc Mack though? Have you like got to talk to him? And
yeah, well, I actually have. I asked him a question. They have a really weird FMV game there. I can't remember exactly what it's called. This thing called Death Stalker or something like that, where you play this private investigator going into this haunted house, and basically it stops every so often. And you have 3 choices, and you have to select one of the choices, and it branches out into weird ways, and you have 3 lives, and it's so weird. I got hooked. You play it again and again and again, and you just find all the different paths. And I still haven't seen everything in that game. And I asked him about the game because I think Brian Colin had something to do with it. And I just started talking with him. And then I asked him, he had these Galloping Ghost tokens. And I asked him about it. He's like, oh, what about these tokens? I was like, oh, here you go. Gave me a token. And apparently there's something, I don't really know. There's something special that you can do with those tokens, but I have no idea what it is. I'm going to see if I have it somewhere close by.
That's awesome.
I know. If you take one of those tokens and you bury it in your backyard and wait, an arcade grows. No, wouldn't that be cool though? I got Rich all excited for a second.
Oh man.
We gotta find it.
I want to grow an arcade.
I know. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, I don't know where it is. It must be in another mug
Ship
somewhere.
grows. But no, I asked if you met him because in all the videos I've seen, he seems like a very cool, like laid back dude.
Oh yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Like he's got a passion.
And I've seen him and like other conventions in the area, like the Pinball Expo. I see him at the Pinball Expo all the time. I see him at Midwest Gaming Classic. They always bring arcade games to these events. You know,
Nice.
Yeah. And he seems very approachable. Oh, you know what Lloyd says? Road trip to Crows. Maybe someday. I'll meet up and go there.
I'll have to turn on the if you come in here, I've got to turn on the machines and wait so they accept change. You know, take them off of free play.
Nice. Make a couple coin off of us.
That is the thing. I've seen where some people have their arcades set up where they'll even have like custom tokens made just to like have the authentic experience. But
Yeah, it's weird now. I now wonder where I put
it's kind of
those
cool,
up.
but then like you get all that like zinc or whatever that all that metal on your hands.
Yeah.
Maybe if you get I don't know one's made for you. But yeah, I remember
The
that.
problem is I cleaned up around here, and now I don't know where I put everything.
You'll find it by the end of the show.
I won't find it if it's not around here.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me say, but I was telling Richard you stuff because you said you can do some of those coins. I'm like, yeah, you plant them in your backyard and you grow an arcade. So
I heard that. I'm wearing
okay. We'll put that theory to test. You can plant that and come back. Next. Let us know like in the next Evercast if you grew an arcade.
Well, maybe I did bury it already and I forgot.
Yeah. Look at the arcade. Wait, maybe you know what? What if maybe that's what it was? Maybe he gave it to you because from the future, and so you went ahead and you buried it, and now it grew Galloping Ghosts.
I don't know. So I wonder if they actually go as far as PA in bringing arcade machines to places, because
I don't know,
they show up to like a too many games because there's supposed to be arcade games there.
Aren't there arcade games there? I thought there was a lot of arcade games. Honestly, in PA, there's a lot of pinball conventions there.
Oh, that's cool.
In fact, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a really big one that's around there in Allentown, I think it is. I don't know if you. Yeah. There's a really
not too far away from me.
Yeah, there's a really big pinball expo that's their yearly.
That's awesome. I got to check that out because it's like 45 minutes away from my house.
Yeah,
which is really cool. It's going to be about an hour and I don't know, hour and 15, hour and 20 to go to too many games, which I can confirm I will actually be attending.
That's a lot closer for you than Midwest Gaming Classic is for me because that's in Milwaukee.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a journey.
Well, it's like a 2-hour drive, so it's not that bad. But
yeah, well, for me it would be.
But
I think fly out there.
I think we agree we need more places like that. And I'll tell you what's like for me, like the difference between there's barcades and other stuff, but the difference between like Galloping Ghosts and I'll even put like the Pinball Museum that's like in Nevada or Las Vegas, the same category, is it's run by people who actually care. Like they, because if they didn't care, they would just have a private collection. But because they do, like you get the impression that, I was assume these places that they make money, but but they're in it to keep afloat. Like they want the people to play the games, they want the exposure to be there.
Well, that isn't even the only arcade in the Chicago area. There's at least 3 or 4 others. And there's a podcast that I listen to occasionally. I can't remember the name of it now, but they both of the guys are from the Chicago area, and they talk about going to all those arcades. But I only go to Galloping Goes because it's the closest. I wish I could remember the name.
That's
of the
your reason, because it's close, not because it's really cool. It's close.
Yeah, it's close. It just so happens to be the largest.
Right.
And I was looking it up because you can get like a lifetime membership. Because normally you could pay for the day.
Yeah.
And,
How much
you
is a
could pay for
lifetime?
week, you could pay for a month, but there is a lifetime. You want to guess how much the lifetime membership is?
$1,000.
Guess again.
It's got to be higher than that for lifetime.
Yeah, lifetime. It's not $1,000.
At $200?
Is that too
cheaper?
high? Is it too high? Or was it high or low?
It's too low.
No.
It's too. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
5K?
No, I was like,
Now you're too high.
so all right. So we
Really?
go to
It's $3,000 lifetime pass. But
I mean,
For one person or like for a family?
for one person, but you get some other benefits such as a game request priority and early event notice and more, whatever and more means.
huh?
What's
But
the
you
game
can also
request
buy
priority? Like you
a
can kick
yearly
someone off the
pass.
machine?
A yearly pass is $400. A monthly pass is $120.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad.
But the monthly pass gets you 2 free guest passes, I guess. So,
Oh.
That's not that bad. I mean,
No.
it's pretty good.
but it's
I mean-
funny. You go to their website, they list out every single game they have.
Dude, if I lived by there, I would go there at least once. I would go there a lot.
I mean,
It'd be awesome.
that's my automatic check is somewhere in that list. Hard or race driving, either one has to be.
You know what's funny is I don't recall seeing that there last time I was there. They have on their page 875.
That's crazy.
games listed.
875.
But let me look it up. Race.
They probably have like 3 different versions of it. No, I don't know.
Luckily, this is in alphabetical order. There's no race driving. I really don't think they have hard driving. There's certain arcade machines they will not put in either. And they're mostly like the games you would see like at like the movie theaters and stuff. That redemption machines and the like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They will not, or anything that was there for tickets that you would use for.
It's there.
Number 326.
Yeah, I was just about to go up there. Oh, the funny thing is that they have Coliseum and Time Traveler right next to each other.
That
Oh,
makes
that's
sense.
cool.
Yeah.
But the whole arcade is kind of laid out in genres. So they have a whole room that's nothing but shoot 'em ups.
That's awesome.
It's also the hardest room to navigate because
That
if
makes
there's
sense.
somebody playing a game, it's very hard to get past them.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah!
All right.
So
So you got,
depending on how much space they get is how much space you get to walk around.
Ah.
They also had like these Japanese only Castlevania game where you actually have a whip. And
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That videos.
stuff
That'd
like
be,
that.
I saw a video about that too. That's pretty cool. Oh man,
It's
All
a
right.
crazy game. Yeah.
So eventually I will have to get there, and then set the score on the hard driving machine because that's.
Have you gotten any
Oh yeah,
calls?
that's the other thing. Every single machine has a little card on it that says who has the highest record in the arcade,
Oh,
and also
man.
lists the world record as well. So if you really want to feel bad, you play a game and you see how far away you are from the top score.
Hey Rich, have you gotten any calls? Or is Rigatoni slacking on the job?
I don't know. I think he is not slacking. So I
Ooh.
got a voicemail and it was like a minute 50 seconds long. Usually that's not a telemarketer,
Ooh.
but I might have to.
We'll screen it real quick if it's like, let's Google Voice, look at the text.
Yeah.
Just gonna check one more spot.
If it's something that we can.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm gonna do a quick listen and then we'll see.
Okay.
Oh, definitely 100%. Yeah. No, this has got to be real. This has got to be real.
have a new challenger or a new caller.
Oh, is it in here? Hang on a second. I forgot I had this thing here. Let's see here. I gotta check all these drawers now.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh. So here's what's. Yeah. No. Yeah. Go ahead and play it. Yeah. It is him.
All right.
I have that authority.
All right. We want to go to the voicemail real quick.
Yes.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do the voicemail. All right. Ready?
Yes.
I gotta hit the speaker button.
You're supposed to hear it?
I barely
Yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on. It was a little low.
little low.
A little low. Yeah.
There we go.
Now, I
There
just
we
tuned into the show, watching your topic on game preservation. So that brought me up. I haven't seen the whole topic, so hopefully you guys didn't cover this. But that brought me up the question is, should every game be preserved? Because as much as I love the Nintendo, Sega Master System, Super Nintendo, and so forth, there's every good game, there's like 4 bad games on the system. Now, Evercade collections, don't argue that some of those games are included on those collections.
Oh.
The limited run is making a special edition of Ted and I can't. The name is escaping me. But there's a new book.
Don't work, guys.
I never played the game myself, but I've heard nothing but bad things about it. So it almost feels like a cash grab. It almost now feels like just because of nostalgia, people are just trying to grab money now. So what's your opinion on game? Should you be a bit picky what to potentially put money in preserve? Or should all games deserve to get preserved, no matter how bad they are, or how bad it is? Anyways, just let you guys, so for you guys to give me a little bit more headway on where you guys are at when it comes to that, and about these bad games being re-released with no adjustments, nothing to it. Like they just kind of grab a game and just release it out because.
Yeah.
So you know what's funny about that, and I'm surprised. So
buy it just to collect, or just buy it because it's an old game. So what do you guys think? Bye.
So I was going to say, and I can say this because I am Italian. No, rigatoni doesn't sound Italian. That's kind of funny. Anyways, but so here's the question of that, and I learned this early on. We were going through, and yes, of course, every kid has to come up. So stop. I know there's that one person out there. So this has to come up because there have been like Evercast things where we rate games, and I think I've said, oh well, this game I don't really like it. This game's horrible, and someone's like, actually, I really like this game from my childhood. It's nostalgic. So for that reason, it's like one person's trash is another person's treasure. Just because you don't like it, it could be somebody's favorite game, and because we all have different tastes and all that, and you don't know what people are gonna like. Like even like ET, for example, that has a huge history. Like I'm so glad that exists because there's so much behind that, and that's a game that Rich likes and has fond nostalgia for. So that's. So yes, I think if you're going to do it, you need to, because you don't know what people are going to like. Not only that, it'd be like 10, 20 years from now. It's fun that, what if ET was never preserved, right? We wouldn't be able to look back at it and talk about it. I'm talking about it now. So yeah, I think definitely. Great, dude. Thanks for calling in.
It's interesting because I've always said like somebody always says this is the worst game ever, and it's like you could think the game is the worst thing ever, but I guarantee you there's somebody in the world that actually likes that game. Plus, if it weren't for everybody looks frozen. Everybody's like just there you go. But the thing is, think about movies, bad movies. Should we get rid of all bad movies? If there wasn't no such thing as bad movies, there'd be no Mystery Science Theater.
True.
So, a lot of times, without bad games, there probably wouldn't be an angry video game nerd.
Yes.
There's still ways to get entertained by bad games. Really, to me, bad games are the ones where they're boring. Like if you have a game that's like bad because it's like super, super, super hard, or you can't make it very far into the game. Well, there's a story behind it that may be interesting.
Yeah, get some Mia.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think as far as preservation goes, I am a almost completionist when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, yes, give me them all. Give me every single game. Give me the Jekyll and Hyde. Give me the everything. Just give it to me, because you just never know. And as you are exploring, as I get older, that's what part of the things that I like about going through all these collections, and there's like playing random games I've never seen ever.
Yeah. But actually, Beast Wrestler, there are people that like that game. There are people that genuinely like that game because they played it as a kid, right, and they've left comments on my video. Yeah. I like this game.
I need to revisit it. I think I've only played that game for 2 minutes and like the stiff controls. I need to go back.
I find it a little frustrating to play, but I may not like the game, but I think it's far from the worst game.
For sure. So yeah, no, I definitely say, yeah, bring them all.
He said it's funny because he said it's not so bad it's good, but I think it is so bad it's good.
Well, there you go.
That's awesome.
Thanks for good show. That's such a great topic, because there are people that would say like, no, wipe them from the face of the earth. I'm like, well,
especially if you use the codes, you input the codes and you play with the cheats and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what's so great about Game Genie back in the day.
Oh, you know what the best thing about Beast Wrestler is? All the typos and misspellings in the game. That alone is worth it.
That's awesome.
There you go.
That's totally cool. I could dig going through games and like picking out all the weird stuff that happens in them too. It's fun. It's definitely fun. But there is more. We have another voicemail that came in. So, and that was what was happening. So sorry to this particular caller. You were getting buttoned every 5 seconds because I was trying to get through Rigatoni's voicemail. But we've got the voicemail here. Here, let me just see if I can cue this up here, and let's do it.
Hey, is this calling all retro gamers? This is Chipple Chris in the chat. I'm giving it a shot. I wondered if anyone here has seen the Video Games Plus second year anniversary bundle. It's different than the Funstock one. It's a VS premium console plus one game of your choosing. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Isn't Video Games Plus the place that does the monthly thing, or is that something else?
No. That's the one in Canada. Oh, okay. Here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the one that Pete always talks about.
Yes.
I need to find a clip of the card saying on screen. That's kind of what I feel.
It.
Dude, okay, so I didn't. Let me scroll down. So yeah, I didn't even know about this.
Wait a minute, is it the new Evercade, or is this the Evercade? Yes, did he say?
Premium. It's a 2-year anniversary bundle with free game.
Yeah, that's an Evercade VS. For some reason, I was.
Yeah.
So $159 Canadian. So it's a regular price.
But
it
you
comes
get both.
with Technos Arcade. It comes with Data East, and then you get to choose one more.
Oh, so it's the price of the regular pack where you only get one controller and like Technos.
No, you get two controllers with this pack because there's two.
But I mean, I think it's the same. It's the same price as the standard pack.
Yeah, I don't know. This is Canadian money.
Yeah. No, I think because let me hold on. Add to USD.
It's about $2 USD. Oh man.
So I'll do like 160. Yeah, $127.60. Yeah, which isn't which isn't the original one like 130.
Yeah, I think the regular edition is 120. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
that's not bad. Cool. And you're getting a free game on top of it. That's pretty cool. And in the list of free games you could get, I mean, you don't have the out of print heavy hitters, but basically everything else you can get. for free, which is not bad.
Yeah, I really like this because let's say there's somebody who's wanting to get into Evercade and they're like, well, I don't want to get the crazy bundle on Funstock. I don't know if I don't want to wait for the handheld. I want to get something now, and this is cheaper than the new handheld that's going to come out. I mean, I don't think you could go wrong with this.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, you're of all the things you could get with it is Indie Heroes is in there, and Television's in there. Mega Cat Volume 1's in there.
You gotta keep going with the arcade theme and get Galco.
Oh, you know what? So so this is even a better deal. So you get both of those games plus. Okay, so you get 3 actual collections.
Yeah,
Yes.
plus one, yeah.
Okay.
One
Sorry.
of them for free.
It's not
One
bad.
of
My
them-
brain just clicked in. Oh, so you could still get Technos Volume. Wait, is that? Oh no, that's the arcade, probably, right? No,
Technos comes in the box
Technos is
already.
in it.
no. Oh,
It's Data East and Technos. It's in the box, so you get Gelco or Atari.
You
So
can
here-
get
But get Gelco.
That's the collection. That's the NES games. That's
yes, yeah. Which the one that's going out of print?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
yes. This is secretly always the Evercast.
Yeah, it's about 137 US. So that's still, I mean, that's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
And a cool call. So thanks, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys call in topics. We'll talk. We'll talk about it. So
Yeah, that's what the line is there for. You see that thing in there, and then magically my phone will ring, and I'll give you the button, and then we'll play your voicemail until I finally one day remove the follow me from my cell phone.
I like that you have it set that way because it keeps you on your toes.
It does. It does. Although like it's weird because it's it's like 10 o'clock at night, and then like my phone's just blowing up. I'm like, who's calling me? It's awesome. That's really cool. So, do we want to do any more topics? Do we want to do another one?
I don't know. How long do you usually run this show?
It's about an hour, maybe an hour and
5
change.
hours?
Yeah, 5 hours. Yeah.
5 hours.
It's not like NLG. They'll be going tonight. They'll be going until 2 or 3 in the morning.
They
Like,
won't let me
I'm watching
leave.
that.
honey.
You've got that many people on the
They
show
won't
with
let
no
me leave.
endpoint. And,
Yeah,
and everybody, yeah.
I'm watching that on replay. I mean, like Mike, I love you, but like I gotta watch that on replay. I can't stay up that late.
That's like something I would have like in the background while I'm working, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's the secret. I got a pair of headphones at the desk, and I got a lot of like paperworky stuff to do tomorrow. So yeah, I'll throw on
I
LNG
think,
and
I
just
think
listen to you
DJs
guys.
only have 4-hour shifts.
What's up?
I think DJs only have 4-hour shifts.
DJ, yeah. Nice. So, so what do you think? You want to do one more?
Think. That's what I think. Yeah, we can do one more.
All
Just keeping everyone on their toes.
Which one do we want to do? Do we want to do the digital store one, or do we want to talk mini consoles?
I think the digital store that could take up an entire, that could be the only topic.
That could be a big. Yeah.
I think if we talk about that one, we risk running into 2 hours.
Well, I'll just have one answer for that. There's a simple answer. You can't use a mouse on a console. That's why.
Ooh.
All right.
Not yet. Let's talk about the Sega Mini. Let's talk about the Mini. I'm dying to.
All right. So let's do the Sega Mini. So it's always fun doing wish lists and all that kind of stuff. So Sega Mini 2 got announced. We're gonna get it over here in North America. Probably not with the same games list because that's not what happened with the first one either. What else do you shove on that thing? It's probably gonna have the same amount of games of like 50 plus, just like the other one. But you got some hot bangers right away.
Dude, okay, I got 2.
On the list of 11 that are already there are some high quality titles.
Dude, Popful Mail, that better be on the one.
Popful Mail is already on the Sega Mini 2. That's confirmed. It better be on the US version, 100%.
Is that in English though? I don't. Really know
I think when they did the preview, they showed the Working Designs logo, so that means it's the US version because they did localization.
Well, the Japanese version will be in Japan. If you get the US version, it'll be in English.
I didn't even know that game came out over here, to be honest.
Yeah,
I owned it. Yeah,
I had no idea.
I may have played it on emulation.
I owned all 4 Working Designs game on Sega CD. So there's the 2 Lunars, Vey, and Popful
Let's just say when
was a Working Designs game originally on Sega CD, but it wasn't. Working Designs didn't port a Silpede until PlayStation 2, which was actually their last release.
Let's just say when John Riggs did his video and he ranked 11 of them, he said if the only game was on this was Popful Mail, it'd be worth it.
Well, of course, because
that game is so expensive.
Do you know how much Popful Mail is complete in box right now?
$250. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Just stop.
Oh.
Like, sad face. It's like $400. Or $500 on eBay.
Technically speaking, I could play Popful Mail right now if I wanted to.
Well, of course you could.
Yeah, but this is so this is like
and then you started saying "yar" a lot, then yeah, anything.
So the thing is, like, if I do decide to get this, and it'll kind of depend on what arcade stuff is out. I like the fact you can just plug it in and play it, and there's great quality games. There are 2 games that I need to be on there no matter what. One of them, I think everybody agrees that like Snatcher needs to be on there because I think that's like the only English translated version, only way you can play it. And then there's also, I don't know if it's a port, but like a Lords of Thunder. Like there's one on one on like the TurboGrafx. That is such a great shoot 'em up, and the soundtrack to that is. Those are like 2 games I want to beat.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking, wasn't that on TurboGrafx CD? But
it's like the same. I don't think there's like really any difference.
The CD too. Yeah.
I think it's like the same. I think it's like the same game basically. I love played it on
What was
emulation.
the other game? Gates of Thunder. That was only on TurboGrafx CD.
Or is it Gates of Thunder?
Gate of Thunder was the one that came with the 3 extra games on it when you bought the Turbo CD, and then Lords of Thunder was the sequel to that.
Okay.
Separate release. So I'm not sure. I'm really unfamiliar with the Sega.
I thought they were the same game. Maybe I'm getting confused. But anyways, yeah, Snatcher's got to be
they're
on there.
2 totally different games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good shooter too then.
So the list goes. They announced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 CD titles, 5 cartridge titles, and then a bonus game for the Sega Mini 2. The 5 CD games were Silpede, Shining Force CD, Sonic the Hedgehog CD, Mansion of the Hidden Souls, and Popful Mail. So all of them are quality titles right there. They're clearly putting in some serious stuff on the Sega CD side.
My question is, where's Wirehead?
Yeah. I mean, so do you see some like weird stuff like that? Do you see like that? Do you see like, do you see like a Night Trap? Do you see Sewer Shark? Those FMV games.
Well, I can see Sewer Shark. I mean, space constraints aren't the limitation they used to be.
That's true. I mean, but do you put it on there? I mean, Sewer Shark.
You do.
I guess you can.
The only thing that would stop me from putting Night Trap on there is if you were aiming for a certain ESRB rating.
Sure. Yeah. So and nothing on the rest of the titles.
It is the same game.
Leans into that mature kind of thing. So on the other side, you got Virtual Racing, Bonanza Brothers, Shining in the Darkness, Thunder Force 4, Fantasy Zone.
Thunder Force 4 actually here was called Lightning Force, with lightning spelled wrong.
So this, dude, Lords of Thunder. Yeah, this is the one that I played on TurboGrafx.
Yeah, nice. So Lords of Thunder. Yeah, and yeah.
I mean, I get it.
There were lots of games there were quite a few games that were on the TurboGrafx that got Genesis ports.
Like you can select your level, and depending what level, like that's what like power up you get, and it's just like, and you have 1 life, and it's I love this game. Like I would love to have an official version.
Yeah, this would be cool. I'd be all about that.
I just wanted to make make sure it's the right one. But yeah, that needs to be.
Was that game one of the games on the TurboGrafx Mini? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so. I want to say it wasn't.
So the cool thing is, virtual racing is that the 32X?
Dude, no. Okay,
no, that's the Genesis cart.
The Genesis.
So I remember that fondly because back in the day when let's say like I think that game was like $70, like it was because they had to use a chip for it, so it was like another 10. Or maybe it was like 60. It was more expensive.
Hey, I hate to break your bubble, but Lords of Thunder was on their TurboGrafx Mini.
Oh, Okay,
Ah, well,
but,
there
we
you
need, but we need it here though because they don't make the TurboGrafx Mini anymore. So
I still have one.
But yeah, he burst my but virtual racing. And I remember at the time it was mind blowing. I remember playing that in the arcade. You can pick 3 tracks. I mean, yeah, it's not as good as like the Sega Saturn, but like for me, that's like very nostalgic. Like it made me happy that like we have one of those chip games on there.
Yeah, I actually, to me, the home versions of virtual racing are very lackluster to me because I always played it in the arcade version, and that was like like the sit down one with the wheel, and that was like unbelievable at the time.
I hear you. It's the same reason I probably wouldn't enjoy like Daytona USA at home.
Yeah, it's the same thing with that. I actually like this. I think it's the second one that I don't think got a home port because I remember there was like a carnival you drove through. I used to like that track.
So if they did have to throw on like a stupid game that's not horrible, let's say other than Night Trap because that's for the Switch, there's one stupid like live action game that they have to throw on there if nothing else for video game preservation, and that's Sewer Shark. Because it's hokey as hell. It's actually like playable and it kind of is like a shooter. Like if they have to throw one of those on there, just
I mean, I would say Sewer Shark over the others as far as the
might be
fine
with an M rating because the previous one had Eternal Champions on it.
Oh, that's true.
Ooh.
So I would go with the C. I can't remember the exact name of it, but there was a CD version of Eternal Champions.
Yes, there was. I think it was just Eternal Champions.
So
I think they just I don't think they like hit it.
I think they had some other
CD or something. Like I can't remember. I owned it, but I don't remember it being called anything else. Maybe it was on the spine and I just never paid attention because it was just the logo on the front. But I mean, that would be good.
I was going to say funny that because that you say that Ian Hobbies because it's people are wanting a Saturn or Dreamcast Mini. I think it was Mad Little Pixel when he first looked at. I think he said that like that was the case, but it was going to be too expensive. And I think with the chip shortages and everything, they wanted to make something that I think it's easy to emulate. But so I'm glad he brought that up because it would be easy to emulate Master System. There were some Master System games on there. Come on.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, I would say that if they were going to do a Master System one, they would just make a Master System Mini because like they could just then if you started localizing all the tech toy ones, they could make a Master System Mini every year for the next 10 years and still never run out of games. It's so ridiculous. There's like 1,000, not hyperbole. I think there's actually over 1,000 releases in Brazil for the Master System. It's great.
Could you imagine if they did this? Now, kind of glad they didn't do this, but it would be kind of cool if they sold the like the Genesis by itself. It only had Genesis games on it. But if you bought the Sega CD Mini and clipped it in there, you get the Sega CD games.
That'd be so dirty.
32X Mini and plug it in, then you get
that would be so dirty.
That would be dirty. But you know what's funny though?
You know what would happen though if they did that? I would buy all 3.
Yeah,
I'd be like, no, I have to because I can make the Tower of Power.
Yeah, you can.
So I don't know if they'll do this.
But on the other end, suck because you'd have to buy everything.
Yeah. And what you can do,
put in link cables, so you have to have them all linked together.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
Funny that you mentioned that, Crow, because I know for the Japanese version, you can buy like the actual like Sega CD just for looks, and you can buy the fake cards. Yeah,
wasn't there a US version of that too, or am I mistaken?
I don't know.
And it was like very limited. I think even the Japanese one was very limited.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, for me though, like no brainer add-ons. I mean, they evoked the work and design's name. So I just say immediately both Lunars and Vey, put them on there. You get all 4. You get all 4 work and design's games because if they got one, you get the rest. And it's not like they can't get Game Arts games because Silpede's on there. So if you have Silpede, that's a Game Arts game that was Game Arts placed on Sega CD on their own. The other 3 games are all Game Arts games. So
I got a Sega CD game. I think it was a Sega CD. There was a Sega CD version of Slam City with Scottie Pippen.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of neat.
But that was like a 4-disc game, but I can't remember if it was 32 or Sega CD version.
That might be too big.
I don't know if.
Because I remember doing a gameplay video of that on my channel, and like people commented on that video forever.
But don't you think though in size though that game would just be too huge?
That's what she said. Woo!
Oh, think about it.
I had to set that up. Oh, but I do have a real game that should be up. The Final Fight, the Sega CD. That's version of it's supposed to be the best
well,
console
Capcom.
port.
Yeah,
Because they have all the characters and music.
Yeah. I mean, they had Castlevania on the other one, so I mean, they could.
Yeah, they had Castlevania. That was Konami.
Yeah.
Castlevania Bloodlines, which I found surprising because Konami owns the TurboGrafx stuff now. So
yeah.
But the TurboGrafx thing had Rondo of Blood. So
yeah. Joe Montana. I mean, throw Joe Montana on the Sega CD, the CD version of that.
There was a Sega CD Joe Montana. I didn't even know that.
It only came out in one territory. Let me find out which one it was. October '93. Yeah, North America. Yeah, yeah. I was just like, wait a minute, why would that was only out in Japan? Prince of Persia, that'd be a cool one.
Dude, Prince of Persia is great.
Rector Lotus War, that would be a cool one. Road Rash.
Kyo Flying Squadron.
Robo Lest would be nice.
Kyo Flying Squadron wasn't on there, was it? The one where you're like the girl and you shoot all the raccoons and.
Well, it's not on the list. No.
Oh, that needs to be on there. That's a crazy game.
But I like the idea of Road Rash. The problem is that's an Electronic Arts game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be hard to get that. I mean, there's like all those movie games and stuff that'd be kind of cool, but again, it's like licensing, double license.
The only other game I can think of is Wild Woody.
Wild Woody. Yeah. Yeah.
If I had to choose one FMV game, though, I'd choose Wirehead because the premise of that game is so stupid.
Hey, I know what should be on there, Rich.
Yes.
The lunar games like Eternal Blue and.
Yeah, well, that's the first thing I said.
Or did you? Okay.
Like, yeah, the rest of the working design series is.
That's right. Okay, my brain must have. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's criminal if they put Popful Mail on this thing and not one of the lunar games make the list. Just throw it out the window.
That's right. You did say that. No, okay. I forgot they're the same publisher.
If it had to be one, I would go Silver Star over Eternal Blue, even though technically Eternal Blue is a better game. But I would say put Silver Star and then let people hope that they could get Eternal Blue sometime. Did they confirm? Is this thing going to have HDMI?
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying, like maybe like with some weird thing. They're like, oh well.
The original has HDMI.
It's gonna have HDMI.
All right.
I thought it was kind of goofy that they would come out with a second one, but then again, there were different models of it. So if they're doing a second,
I like that they're doing that. To be honest, because I had the Model 2 with the Sega CD add-on. Like that's
cool. I never had. I had the Super Nintendo, not the Genesis. But I do remember for one summer swapping with somebody the Super Nintendo for a Genesis. We swapped game systems and collections, and but then at the end I was like, I want my Super Nintendo back.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh, I heard when you said Eternal Champions because the CD version's a little bit different. It's almost like considered.
Yeah, it has a lot more stuff to it. Cinematic overkills and stuff.
Yeah, that needs to be on there.
Yeah, no, I would definitely like that.
It would be a fun game. I know they'd never get the license. Would be the Star Wars Rebel Assault. I know those.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what? Don't say never because Limited Run Games is putting out all the Star Wars stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I mean it, and if you're gonna go that way, I mean, even Amazing Spider-Man versus Kingpin is actually a good game. So,
and if you're putting Star Wars games on there, you got to put Star Wars chess on there.
So I'm looking at a list, and guys, I didn't know that the Secret of Monkey Island was on there. Like,
I mean, what about Eye of the Beholder?
Yeah,
the AD&D game. You'd have to go through Hasbro, but why not?
Oh yeah, there's the Earthworm Jim Special Edition too. There's like some new stuff.
Yes,
yeah, there's that.
The Earthworm Jim Special Edition. I mean, and then there's like the movie license games like Demolition Man and Terminator. That'd be kind of cool.
It's Dark Wizard's on it, isn't it?
Dark Wizard. It's on Sega CD.
No, but I mean, isn't it? I'm trying to remember if it's on the mini too, because I've never played it,
No.
but it looks like an awesome like strategic like RPG. Like that should be
It's
on
not.
there.
Oh, on the it's not on the mini one.
Lloyd,
I thought it was on the mini two. I could be wrong.
No,
Maybe there's some other
If you
wizard.
switch the language, you could play the games that were on the Japanese version, but that's not the case. You could play the Japanese version of the games that were already on it, but
Mhm.
you couldn't get the games that were only Japan exclusive.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, there's a lot of really awesome Sega CD games that you could go in there. I mean,
Oh, like
and,
Road Blaster. That should be on there too.
and that I think, to be honest, that should be the focus of this thing.
Oh yeah, Road Blaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was thinking of the Atari, the arcade game Road Blaster, not the.
You know the one that's
Oh, yeah.
like you got to press the button and move and
That's
drive
where my
around.
head went too.
Yeah.
It was called something else. It went under a couple different names.
Yeah.
What was it called here? Sega CD.
Yeah, I was just like Googling some of the best ones and just, either
Road
one-
Avenger. Road Avenger. That's what it was called here. Oh, you know what? That was a renovation game. We should see that in Renovation Collection too.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Oh, you know what? Fatal Fury Special. Really?
Yeah.
That would be cool to have on there. Because the main thing is, there'd be like no loading time. So,
And if you're going to do Road Avenger, you got to do Time Gal.
Was that on the other
where
one?
does time go?
No, they weren't on there.
Which is also a renovation game.
Oh, you know what? Okay, here's a good off choice. What if they put the Mortal Kombat CD version? Because I heard that one's supposed to be better than the Super Nintendo. Like that one is supposed to be pretty good.
Well,
Have a good soundtrack.
It was a pretty good
yeah.
port.
I mean, you could do that, but it's still the first Mortal Kombat.
What's wrong with the first Mortal Kombat?
It was more of a prototype for the series.
Oh man, I just want all of them. Just
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
all these again. I miss my Sega CD collection a lot.
See, I'm glad that they're doing this because especially like, CD-ROM systems, older ones are a lot more volatile because,
That's why that was one of the reasons why I sold all the Sega CD games. I was never playing them, and I was always worried that one day they just would stop working.
Mm.
So I would sell them before they stop working.
Yeah. I mean,
well, here's the thing: if you do want all the games, it's gonna have more internal storage because of the CD games, and I'm sure you'll be able to use the thing will be hackable if you really want.
Well,
to.
yeah, isn't oh, that is a game. Let's relate this back to the Evercade and not Futatabi. Do you know how that's related to the Evercade?
How?
It is one of the sequels to El Viento.
Oh.
yep.
It's actually the second sequel because after El Viento is Ernest Evans, and then after Ernest Evans is Annette Futatabi, which was a Sega CD game.
Yeah,
See,
Ernest
if
Evans made it to the Sega CD as well, apparently.
If you watched my El Viento video, you would know this.
It's on my list.
I did watch the video.
Don't shame me.
But yeah. Was
stuff, though.
Ernest Evans more popular on a different system than the it was released on the Genesis in North America and the Mega CD in Japan.
Yes.
Got
Japan got it was really well. Yeah, it was released on cartridge as well in Japan, but only Japan got a Sega CD version.
Got
It's
it.
pretty much exactly the same game, except it has CD soundtrack and animated cutscenes. And the only reason everybody remembers Ernest Evans is because the guy runs around. He looks so goofy because it's like every one of his limbs is animated differently.
That's hilarious.
It's crazy.
And I was actually shocked when I found out that game was a sequel to El Viento. So I had no idea.
That's very cool.
Ernest Evans shows up in El Viento.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
reading it in the spoilers.
So I guess the cool thing is that there's just so many that they can choose from.
Yeah.
You could make a really awesome list, and not have to worry too much about the Genesis titles because the original Genesis Mini had so many great ones on it.
Gotta have Chris Cross make my video.
That's what I was gonna say. Is Marky Mark of the Funky Bunch?
Oh, God.
Isn't there an NXS one too?
Yes, yeah, there is.
Yes, there is.
But see,
Yeah,
that's the good. That's the good thing is that it'll be a nice curated collection of like 50, let's say 55 games if there's some like secret bonuses, and then you can just plug and play it. You're going to enjoy all of them. You don't have to spend time hacking it and finding ROMs. And then for me, if I decide to get it, that's what I want, right?
You know what?
And to your point, Rich, if you want those other games, you can buy the first console, and then you got like over 100.
It doesn't matter what they put on it. To be honest, if I'm able to hack it, I will hack it.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, if for whatever reason, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that because they put Popful on there, they're just gonna do the right thing, and then they'll be on. The rest of them will be on there. Because I mean, if they're not, then that's exactly what I'll do. I'll figure out a way to make sure that I can play Lunar on a thing that looks like.
But you know, you could do, Rich. Let's say they throw in like an NXS or Crisscross, and it's like just delete those 2 games and add the other 2.
Yeah, just add the Lunar games, and there you go.
And then you won't have to mess like with adding a USB or too many games like that. Like that I might do if there's some games that I really didn't want. I'd rather have other games.
Yeah,
you know, toss that on there.
You swap some out.
Or like
toss
like Streets of Rage on there, something like that.
You don't need to take out games. Usually, you could the way they figure out to do it is just plug in a flash drive. And then you're able to add
but if you don't want to mess with that, like if you still want to keep it a curated collection and not, accidentally put too many things.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only reason I haven't hacked like a lot of the stuff that I have is just because I need the time to do it and mess around.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why I say if there was like those Lunar games, it's like, okay, let me remove 2 other games, or you could plug in US and just add them. If you could be disciplined, I think it'd be good.
Yeah, but man, people need to play those. Though. They're so good. Those Lunar games, I love them so much. Like hours, just sitting around, just grinding, like in those games, and then just randomly. That's the one game that you go to the NPCs and you want to talk to them because the localization team at Work and Designs put in the weirdest things. You talk to some random dude in like this village, has nothing to do with the story. You just walk up to the guy and it's like, oh, hey, what do you have to say to me? And he starts talking about like Bill Clinton or like some random pop culture thing that happened in America, has nothing to do with the game.
Ooh, but it's like 90s pop culture.
That are just like in there.
That's like, and Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't these the first versions of the games? Like, it's before they got ported to PS1 or anything else. Like,
yes,
I think these are the
100%.
first.
Yeah, the Sega CD was they were the original releases. They got a secondary release in Japan on the Sega Saturn, and then they got reported as complete versions, Lunar Silver Star Complete and Eternal Blue Complete on PSX. And that I bought both of them. And then I got really mad at Silver Star Story Complete because they changed the way that like leveling and the dungeons worked.
I remember you telling me about that offline. Yeah. So that's what you get to play these like the way they were meant to originally be played. That's
yes. Well, the way I remember them anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So, but yeah, no, that'd be cool. And I mean, we'll find out eventually. They're gonna do the same thing. Like I think Nintendo does the same thing too when they release. That they're going to have a mini console. They have a batch of games every month or whatever. They tell you the next 10, that's going to be on the thing. So,
I know we're getting close to time, but before we do, Crow, if we put you just on the screen, do you think you can give us a calling all retro gamers so we can add you to the group of people for the intro?
No.
I could have told you that.
I'll do it.
Okay. Here, make. Yeah.
Let me get all the banners out. Let me get all the stuff in.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna do that, and then we'll be right back. All right, ready?
Calling all retro gamers.
Yay!
Thank you.
Like this, like.
You can. Yes, do another one. Yes.
No, I'm not going to do
that. That's awesome. Thank you.
We appreciate it because we have.
Now we have 3 more. So now I really do need to get back into the.
It's funny because the last one that Retro Golfers, like I saved it and I meant to clip it, but it's still on my hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do that. Cool.
That's awesome.
Actually, I would have done it the first time when you originally asked, but I forgot all about it.
But,
Just like I forgot all about this until yesterday.
hey, Mike, that's cool. You
Yeah.
catch the replay. So I'm gonna let these two folks sum up everything about you here, Crow.
You are unique.
Well, wait a minute. We only talked about the Sega CD games. There's one game that
Okay,
needs to
okay,
be
go
on
for it.
There's one
On the
game
Genesis side?
the cartridge side.
Yeah,
Because Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was not in the original.
that's true.
Neither was Sonic and Knuckles.
That's very true.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, complete
And
the
I
set.
wonder if they did that because of the lock-on thing. So I don't know if they really should be able to put the Sonic and Knuckles in there and be able to play with both of them locked in or whatever. I mean, you could do that on, I think you could do it in one of the collections.
Yeah. Yeah,
But do you think
isn't it Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection that you could do that back in the
I think so.
There's been so many of them.
But do you think they'll do that with the new like Sonic collections and with Sega removing? I mean, Sonic CD is going to be on there, so I don't see why not. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just missing on the original. They only had like Sonic 1 and 2 and Sonic Spinball.
Yep, that's right.
But they're putting Sonic CD. You would think that maybe put Sonic 3 and Sonic Knuckles on there too.
Yeah,
that's a good call. I mean, I would say yes for sure.
Sonic 3 was my favorite.
And if you're going to do the lock-on thing, you have to do it with at least Sonic 3 because that would be the complete game. Sonic 3 is only like the first half of the game that they meant to do. And Sonic and Knuckles, the reason it locks on with Sonic 3 was because that was the complete game they originally envisioned.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Chris, for just hanging out and watching us jabber on about all these cool games. Yeah, it's neat. It's neat hanging out. Oh yeah. Yeah, so some of the classic NHL games. I mean, again, you're in the EA territory and all that kind of stuff. But that'd be kind of cool. And then some of the Strike series, and yeah, why not? If you're gonna get EA, throw them in there. That'd be kind of neat. Yeah, and then I mean, there was only one Phantasy Star on there, on the original. There was Phantasy Star 4.
Oh yeah, 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah, why not? Throw some of that on there. That'd be
or
kind of
one. Neat. Well, that'd be a Master System game, but still.
Yeah, one is Master System game.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna go into Master System world, and there needs to be a whole lot of other games on that list.
They've done this already in other Genesis collections. They've thrown Master System games in it.
Yeah, but you need I always want them to do throw Miracle Warriors on there and some random ones like Lore of the Sword and that kind of stuff. Those games don't appear again because people write them off. But they're actually.
Oh, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Battletoads in the Genesis.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you're gonna get that though, right? Because
it's trade list. I don't know who owns it, but Limited Run Games got the rights to do to re-release Battletoads and Double Dragon on cartridge even.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And don't forget on the arcade 1-up they put the of Killer Instinct. They put the console versions of.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had the console version of Battletoads on there, which is fun to play the first time. It's not so much fun to play repeatedly.
I think that was the Nintendo and Super Nintendo versions, but yeah, it'd be cool.
No, there's arcade version of Battletoads.
Oh yeah,
that's right. And then maybe it's that in the Nintendo version. Yeah,
I think it's just the arcade version, to be honest.
Oh okay. I have to double check, but I thought they had one of the console games on there.
I think it's Battletoads are Killer Instinct and Battletoads, and those are the two games that are on it.
I thought it was Battletoads versus Double Dragon.
I don't know about that. I'm not really aware of Arcade 1-Up putting console games in their arcade machines.
Yeah, I think
I'm getting there. real super quick. I want to say that was the only exception because they didn't do that with the Simpsons arcade cab. Let's go down to the list of games, features, and I
just saw. I didn't even know Killer Instinct 2 was. I just saw Killer Instinct Battletoads, and I just assumed, okay, Killer Instinct and the arcade version of Battletoads.
So they do, yeah. No, you were right, Crow. They have the arcade, but I was also right. I'm like, I know they have like the 8 and 16-bit versions.
Okay, now that's not being very specific. When they say the 8-bit version of Battletoads, is that the NES version or is it the Master System version? And when they say the 16-bit version of Battletoads, are they talking about the Genesis version of the original game, or are they talking about the Battletoads game that was on the Super Nintendo?
There was a Master System version of Battletoads?
Yes, there was.
It's not in the US, right?
No, it's not a US release. I think it's more of a South American release only.
That was a tech.
And if it's not, then it's a bootleg thing because I've seen it.
Well, that's awesome. This makes me. That's one of those weird things where you're like, no, I have to have this now. It is a tech toy game. It's a tech.
No, listen, I love the NES and NES. The soundtrack.
And the funny thing about like Battletoads is, it's very difficult in the US version, but when they released the game in Japan, they made it easier. So the Japanese version of Battletoads is a lot easier than the US version, and the Genesis version is also easier than the NES version.
Huh. I guess they just decided that's it. Like people are going to play this unless we do something.
I was surprised by how many 16-bit games found its way onto the Master System, or even NES 8-bit games that you wouldn't normally expect.
Oh yeah, for sure. But most of those games are all like tech toy games.
Yeah, I think where I saw it was Midwest Gaming Classic, because I saw them on the Master System, and they kept every time I'd walk by, they were playing some other game I had no idea was on the Master System.
That's awesome. Oh man, eBay's it's hurt.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I want to say. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the NES version, and I thought it was the NES and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I was actually kind of interested when it was like, oh, I wonder how much the Famicom version of Battletoads is. Maybe it's not that much. And I looked at it, I was like, never mind. It's like a couple $100 of the cartridge only.
Yeah, it's funny like how some versions in Japan were like easier to. I thought, oh, it's going to be too easy for American. Well, because and I know that in America, like we do care more about like replay value and length of the game, and that's like one of the reasons why like the Sega Saturn did so well there is because in Japan they're like, no, I want the arcade experience at home, but not everyone wanted that.
It just depends on which one is harder than the other, because Japan game rentals were very popular as well, and they would purposely make games harder so you couldn't beat it in one rental.
Right. Yeah, you have to keep coming back.
Actually, I've heard of them doing that too. Like, actually, I've heard of them making like the first 2 levels, or maybe like the first few levels, kind of easy, and so then you would get like sucked into it, but you wouldn't be able to beat it. And so, to your point, then the rest of the game was harder, so you'd have to like rent it.
It's like what they do on Steam, where you have to make the game, so you have to play it a certain amount of time, so you can't refund it.
Right. Cool, guys. All good stuff.
That's awesome times.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, or what do we want to go out on?
Well, I think, for me, final thoughts other than to thank Crow for coming on and hanging out with us. It's always awesome to be hanging out and talking. As far as stuff that's going on in my world, it's another busy week again, and I don't want to do it, but because I tried. I got home from work today, and I was like, you know what? It's INTV Tuesday, so let's go. Let's do my two games. And I did the entire prep work for the first game, and then wound up finding out because it's Nova Blast for the Intellivision. It's one of the iMagic games. And then I did all the prep work, and then turned on the console, and then scrolled down my list of games that are on my Ultimate Flashback, and Nova Blast is not on there.
Oh no!
It's not on it at all, and I'm like, how is that there? And I'm recording myself doing this, so I just started talking, and I'm like, I cannot believe. And it's like, no, all right. How many other iMagic games are missing? None, just Nova Blast. And so I was like, all right, well, what about the Activision? All the Activision games are there. Like everything, every single game from the 125 is on there, except for Nova Blast.
You might have to just keep that in and be like, hey, I just loaded it up on an emulator.
Yeah, right. I got so upset. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not. I can't. So the next one's Safecracker. So I was like, I need to do some research to actually find out how to play, so I don't look like a fool trying to bumble my way through Safecracker.
One Intellivision game I've never seen. I've never run across it. I've never seen footage of it. I have no idea what that game is like.
Oh, well, that's the play.
Safecracker or Nova Blast? Which
Safecracker.
Oh, Safecracker.
But you might as well say Nova Blast as well, because that's not ringing any bells either.
Yeah, so Nova Blast is easy because it's a Defender clone. So like it's everything you would have think of in Defender, only maybe like a little shinier graphics.
You know, my favorite Defender clone is Chopper Command.
Yes. Yeah, I love that game.
It's the same as Defender, except you don't save anybody.
That's true. You just blow everybody away.
Yeah.
You know what? The crazy thing about that game is it goes so fast when you get to the later stages.
Yes.
Like those jets, they move so quickly. It's like, how do you even
No, I figured it out. It somehow clicked with me the one time I was playing, and I just kept playing forever. I figured it out.
That's awesome. I gotta get into the zone in that game. But anyway, so yeah. So long story short, I have no idea what's going on. All I know is Thursday will be Donut Dodo. I will play Donut Dodo on Atari VCS because I've been wanting to play that game since it released last week. It will happen, and then I don't know what'll happen.
I gotta see if that's out for 64, and we'll probably talk more of this since you brought up Donut Dodo. We'll probably talk more about this on Evercast. But Rich, as soon as you played the trailer, I don't know if anyone else did. I'm like, why do we have the Evercade coin? Like it looked exact. I'm like, is that just stock footage they licensed?
The trailer, yeah.
Did that slip?
Know.
Is it going to be for every? Like,
maybe it was just like just stock footage, and someone found it.
What part?
So the trailer for Donut Dodo starts out with that neon background thing with the guy putting in a quarter in the arcade.
That's easy enough to explain. That's probably footage you can buy from stock footage place.
That's
what we were saying. Or is it like a secret hint? Like, I don't know.
No, it's probably just a coincidence that they bought the same clip.
Yeah, but how awesome would that be? Because it's technically an independent title.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be if it wound up on like Indie Heroes?
Dude, that would blow my mind. If it's, I may have to pick it up for $5 if it's on PS4. Oh, speaking of Indie Heroes, what I want to probably cover next is I'm thinking like, based upon last month, shouldn't by the end of this week, maybe by Friday, we get the next monthly game.
Yes,
on the VS, because I want to.
It's 6/7 already. We're gonna be.
Well, we should have had it.
So by the 10th. I would say, yeah, we probably should get it because you're gonna run out of weeks.
Oh, look at this! Donut Dodo is $3.99 on Steam.
That's right.
Yep. Until June 10th because it's new.
Nice.
Yeah, $3.99 on Steam, $4.99 on the VCS.
What is this game? I haven't seen anything. It looks like what is it like?
So it's basically Popeye and Burger Time and Donkey Kong. Like they all had an arcade game baby, and it was Donut Dodo. The guy that the guy that made the game described it as if you walked into an arcade in 1983 and there was a brand new game that kind of got like lost, like in time, and somehow made its way back to 83. This was that game. Like it's so.
And you know what's great? If you look at the high scores, I think it was like Tim's Tiny Arcade when he was playing it on the iArcade. Like the first, like the default, like it says like Pac-Man, Popeye, Donkey Kong, like Rich, all those games you're talking about that influenced it. Like that's the default.
Funny. That's neat.
In the top 10. But I either want to cover the game of the month, or if not, I know that you went through and you grabbed all like those important like AMA questions. Like I want to talk about. I'm either going to talk about like a lot of those or do that. The game of the month, I have to talk about that. But
and I completely forgot to bring it up. But you were talking about the Apple TV games. So with Apple Arcade, I don't have devices, but Zen Studios does have a pinball game on there. It's called Zen Pinball Party. So you can play a lot of the stuff that's in pinball effects through there. And there's a couple extra tables that are in there that aren't anywhere else.
Well, that's kind of cool. I might have to check that out.
Did you guys know that fun fact? The dodos went extinct.
Dodos
eating
went
donuts.
extinct by eating donuts. Yeah.
Here's a secret: dodos aren't actually extinct. They're hidden away.
They're hidden away.
Yeah, they're hidden away. They don't want people to think that there's any dodos. It's a delicacy.
That's
All right,
stupid.
gentlemen.
Drives me nuts.
Any final thoughts? Because I think we're approaching the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
And if you guys are watching this on the replay and you've stuck with us along, you're awesome. And those of you who stuck with us live, you're even awesomer as well.
Yes, thank you.
My final thought is: after this, do I play Pinball FX or do I continue working on making videos?
Yeah.
That's a tough call. I know what I'm doing though. I am finding a pillow.
Right.
It is 11.
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta
it's an
get up
hour
and
later
work
there.
on it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have to watch more Stranger Things tonight too.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice.
dude, that's fantastic. I can't wait for the second half of season 4. I binged
Oh,
that.
they only did this one half. Why am I watching it now then?
Yeah. And July, it's in
forgot-
July. We're getting the rest of the episodes, but
should've
still,
waited.
you need to. They're
Should've
really
waited
long.
till July.
They're almost like movie length. Some of them are like an hour.
Yeah,
I think like
they're over
episode
an
7,
hour
an
each.
hour and 40 minutes.
That's crazy.
Robert Englund makes a cameo. You know, the guy that played Freddy Krueger. For people who don't know, like he makes a cameo. But yeah,
Nice.
I was. So here's the thing. So I was into that so much, I binged it on my own, and because my wife had kind of started it, and I want to say I rewatched it from episode 2 and beyond again, and I loved it just as much the second time. And I noticed stuff. I'm like, because they throw the plot right there, and you're like, oh my god, how did I not know? Yes, almost 2 hours. Well, that's because Crow is on now.
Man, there's so much stuff I gotta watch. I don't have time to watch that twice.
I know. It's all good.
All right, guys. Well, awesome. Well, thanks again, everyone, for watching. Thanks again, Crow, for hanging.
Mhm.
And we'll catch you next time.
Yep. Well, we
Awesome.
created content. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Calling all
retro
gamers.
This concludes our broadcast day.